Hi, you guys. How are you? A few days before your big project's due, and I thought I'd get in touch and talk about a couple of things. So, I'm assuming you've written your papers or your speech. That's what it is. It's a speech. And what I like to do is then condense it so that I've got my notes on paper and I put it on my computer screen or somewhere near my camera so that I can look over and see what it is I want to tell you without reading off a script. If you're using your entire body, or at least from the waist up, there's a couple of tips I want to offer about body language. Number one, don't sit in a chair like this because you'll do what I'm doing, which is spinning around, and that's not good. But what you do want to do is be animated. So I made a video for you the other day, and for some reason I can't get it into Moodle, which makes me sad and makes me feel a little anxiety for your situation. So I hope you do better with computers than I do, probably because you've been born with computers. But in any case, one of your best bets is to make sure that, let me see if I can stand up. Arms out is basically the thing. Most of us talk like this, with our arms to our side when we're doing a speech. And ideally, they'd be out and up. So let me sit back down. I'm sorry you're looking at my ceiling. Palms up is a sign of trust and vulnerability on your part, which connects you to your audience. Arms out, also a sign of trust and vulnerability. Also, if you lean in, that's a sign that you're trying to get closer to your audience. And so this is something, even if you're just doing a voice track now, to remember for your next speech, okay? Because at some point this semester, I do want to see your whole body. And that means your image, hair, makeup if you're female, anything you can do to enhance your image and give me or us someone of credibility, someone who is confident and trying their best to present in an interesting and thoughtful way. Because it's not just a chit-chat between you and a friend, it's performance, which people don't like to hear, but it really is. Think about the times that you've been in a classroom or at a conference or anywhere where you were asked to listen to somebody speak about a topic. Even if it was a topic you were interested in, if they were not animated and enthusiastic, if they weren't moving and smiling and using their voice in an interesting way, it's very easy to kind of get lulled into either daydreaming or thinking of other things or even falling asleep, especially if it's a PowerPoint and they turn out the lights. And you'll notice I'm using my hands, by the way, this is an aside, to augment, to illustrate what I'm saying, okay? So you can do that too, because your hands are so descriptive. Your body is just such a great, how do I say this? Your body can say things that your words cannot express. In fact, if you recall all the way back to the beginning of the semester, that people kind of connect with us watching our body language and listening to our tone of voice. So it's not the words they remember so much, especially facts and data. That very often just flies right out of their head immediately. What they remember is your passion for the topic. What they remember is that you made them feel wanted or part of a community. You embraced them, that you paid attention, that you took the time and effort and energy to give them the best of you so that they were engaged and didn't feel like they were wasting their time, because nobody likes to waste their time. So when your speaker or teacher or friend is really putting effort into being as interesting and useful to you as possible, then we're happy. We respect that. Okay, next. Vocal variety. Many of you are going to be doing PowerPoint or Prezi type presentation for us. This is where your voice has to do all the work that your body would do, the work that standing tall with good posture or Smiling, although we can hear that smile, we can't see it. We have to hear it. So you have to be smiling. Your energy, your enthusiasm, your passion for the subject. So how do you keep people interested? Well, if you're reading off a piece of paper, it's going to be hard because most of us after a paragraph or two tend to get into a rhythm. And that rhythm is just kind of yada, 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 yada. You can put yourself to sleep. So behind me is a list of some things you should consider when you're working with your voice, because your voice is all you've got. Voice and the words you've chosen, the stories you're telling, the examples you're providing, the images that you've chosen. Okay, so I have volume, speed, tone, and pitch, energy, enunciation, pauses, and smile. And you know you can hear when someone is smiling when they're talking to you on the phone. So smile back, okay? Smile for us when you're talking to us. As far as volume goes, I'll tell you what, you can do a lot with a whisper. But if all you do is talk softly, that none of us can really pay attention, and we really don't want to pay attention. You need to vary the variety of your voice. The volume of your voice has to change. And so sometimes you should be excited about something, and sometimes it's more appropriate to slow down and speak more softly. But remember, it's the variety that keeps us interested, not the constancy of loud or soft, okay? Speed. Speed is one of those excellent ways that you can make a point. So if it's really, really important, I'm really enthusiastic, I'll talk more quickly. But if it's something I really need you to understand, I can slow down. And I can pause, because pauses are hugely powerful when you're speaking. So make sure you take a breath periodically. A breath and maybe saying, so our first point was, and now point number 2, review and then offer your next example. That way the listener understands we're shifting gears a little bit. And you can even say something like, now to shift gears. Tone. So obviously you know the difference between someone who sounds really annoyed, someone who sounds really bored, someone who's joking, someone who's serious. These are the things that are missing in a text message or in an email, and those are the things that can really cause trouble. When you're listening, you can hear that someone's happy, or you can hear that someone is really displeased. It's all available to you. So tone is something to be aware of. And if you're presenting shocking or sad information, then you should sound sad or shocked by this. And your face will say it too, because we can't separate that out. Most of us anyway cannot separate that out. Pitch. Just FYI, if you're feeling a little tense, you're going to get tight up here, and your voice is going to get a little higher. That's why standing up is a really good thing, and I would urge you to stand up when you're doing this, doing what I'm doing now. Stand up, your voice will be deeper, it'll be more resonant, and it'll be less likely to be up high because of your vocal cords being either strained or tight because of nerves. Now, can we hear that you're nervous? Very, very rarely. Mostly you cannot hear that someone is nervous. We can't hear a quiver that you can hear. Very different sound, as you know. But just so you know, it's easier for people to hear lower voices than it is to hear higher voices. And that has to do with aging and hearing. And I think I've mentioned that, or you saw a video about it at some point this semester. Energy, we can hear it. Lack of energy, we can hear that too. So recording at 3 a.m. and being on take number 47 is not going to do you any good. Enunciation. Peter Pepper picked a peck of pickled peppers. She sells seashells by the seashore. Anything red leather, yellow leather. These get your mouth opening and closing rapidly. And to enunciate properly so that we all understand what you're saying, you have to open your mouth. We all know people who mumble and they kind of keep their mouth shut when they talk, and they're kind of mumbling, or they're talking so fast that everything is sliding together and it's really hard to understand what they're saying. Open your mouth. take some time. Don't rush. Give yourself, you have 5 to 10 minutes, not 3 minutes, not 4 minutes and 45 seconds. 5 to 10 minutes. Use it. Don't rush. Enunciate so we can understand you. Use pauses. They're great. Pauses are great. And smile. The other thing is to avoid jargon, which is, computer people have jargon, medical people have jargon, people in the radio business have jargon. Like take 2, take 47. Don't use jargon, and be careful with acronyms. So you and I know what CCV means, but you say that to someone from, like on an airplane, well, I go to CCV. Well, what does that mean? Explain your terminology. If it's something we're not familiar with, you need to help us become familiar with it. Okay, so body language, purpose. I didn't mention that before, but so this is not a prepared speech. This is just a kind of off-the-cuff thing. Have a purpose. Know what you want me to learn from listening to you, and set out to provide it for me. And do it the best way you can. Make sure the lighting is good. Make sure we can hear you. And do your best. Have fun, because it should be fun. Sharing information and helping people learn is a wonderful thing. It's a great gift that you're being given. So proud of you all, and happy to be with you this semester. I know it might not seem like it sometimes. It's been really challenging for me, and it has been for some of you too. So we're kind of all in this together, and we're going to get through. And I'm looking so forward to seeing your presentations. So thanks an awful lot, and have a great weekend.